Hey, everybody, in this week's podcast, we have Dustin Slade. Dustin Slade is a U.S. Army combat veteran. He's also the veteran of a few long distance races, best in the desert, defending champion, a couple of Baja 1000s, a couple of Vegas to Renos, and he's been racing for Warrior Built Foundation. So, in this episode, we talk about how he got into racing, his military service, dealing with loss, wellness, and just racing in general too. So I hope you enjoy the episode.
Thanks for showing up.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? Because you know more about you than I do.
I'm Dustin Slade. Raced motorcycles, was in the infantry once upon a time. Seems like forever ago now, but I don't know. We got Vegas Reno coming up in 2 weeks here. I won last year, trying to win again. Trying to get my second Best in the Desert championship.
Are you racing pro class?
Yeah, I race Ironman Pro.
I figured. Dude, I've seen some of your videos, man.
Thanks.
So what's up with the company you got going on there?
Which one? I got a couple.
Oh, do you? I just know of Dirt Slut.
So Dirt Slut, I just started it, by the way, like 2.5 months ago, probably. I've only had a website up for like 3 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not like a clothing guy really. I'm more so the one wearing the dirty shirt with a bunch of holes in it.
Yeah, that's what this shirt is right here.
But I don't know, like in the 90s, it was cool to ride dirt bikes, and early 2000s, like it was fun. And I just feel like each year we get like a little more prudish and a little more like political, and I hate it because dirt bikes is like the way to get away from all that.
Yeah.
So even though like I wouldn't consider myself like a clothing guy, just started my own brand and working on that. Just because, like I said, when I go to the desert or to the tracks, the people I meet don't really match like the marketing campaigns that are being pushed on us. So I thought I'd I'm not reinventing anything new. I'm just trying to bring it back to the late 90s,
Dude, that's exactly how I feel. And in one of my freaking videos on my YouTube, I was talking about that and how everyone is like complaining about Deegan and his attitude and stuff. I'm like, dude, I love that. Like, there's a certain type of personality that's like super competitive in a gritty sport, and like you got to have an attitude about it. And I was like, I even brought up, being an infantryman. And I was like, dude, we were just like jerks all the time to each other, but that's just the way it was. Yeah, like we were professional. And so just like, I don't know, I love that. And so my YouTube channel originally started out as, it was called Of Dirt, and so it was OV, which was stemmed from like black metal. So I was like trying to make moto metal again. And then it didn't really end up panning out.
I'm learning a lot, but thankfully, I'm at one of my other business right now, Callum Wellness. We do like HRT, peptides, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So thankfully, I have this as like I make my money here. I can do whatever I want with Dirt Slut, right?
Yeah.
I don't need it to do well to like pay my bills. I'm upside down tens of thousands at the moment.
From Dirt Slut?
Yeah. I got $40,000 worth of shirts just sitting in an office right now.
That's gnarly.
But it's just, like I said, it really is a passion project, not like something that I need to do to pay the bills. So it just, and I think it makes it, I'm kind of glad it's that way, because it makes it it's just a fun thing instead of like, I need this to work. I need this to work. Right. It's just this thing I'm
for
doing
sure.
because that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And the views aren't terrible either, going to these photo shoots.
Yeah, I bet. That's like kind of what I'm doing with this too. Like I make pretty good money and I just trying to give back to like the veteran community and stuff. Because I don't know if you heard about the dude, the Green Beret guy in Salt Lake. He was basically like chased by the cops. They did not they didn't follow their own laws. And this dude's like sitting in a freaking solitary confinement and they just totally just like dicked him down. And
I don't think they know. I don't think they know how to really deal with people. I mean, really, and I don't think some of us really are all that great when we come back. I think it's a lot of it I put on the military. They just do have their little. I remember we did like a transition day, like when we first came back from, and we did some like high rope thing, and it was like, okay, you're fixed now.
Yeah, they just like wave their magic wand. They're like, you're good, dude.
Like 2 hours on a high rope obstacle course was like that. Yeah, that you're good now.
Yeah, I think our guys did like bungee jumping.
Well, that's a little better than what we did, but you get my point though. It's like that doesn't just like undo everything,
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
So I mean, when I came back, I ended up unfortunately getting in trouble. I mean, almost immediately.
Yeah.
For fighting. It's like, I mean, I'm not trying to make excuses for myself, but I mean, you could see how one could correlate to the other, right?
Yeah, totally.
So I heard. I heard, or you told me that we were at the same place, right, Vilsack?
Yeah, dude. Old freaking 2CR.
Yeah, big, beautiful Vilsack. Just the unloved stepchild of Grafenveer.
Dude, I heard that like when I was there that 2CR had the lowest retention rate in the Army. And I was like, you don't say. Because
I mean, I did grow up in San Diego, and then they put me over there. I landed on Christmas Eve, and I literally did not own pants. Like I was in San Diego, I didn't need pants. There's like 2 days a year that go under 60 degrees, and then you just put a sweater on, right? Like
you just throw a sweatshirt on, you're good.
If you want to, you don't even need to.
No.
And I landed in Germany, and there was like 6 feet of snow everywhere, and I was so excited to go over there, and I wasn't off that plane for 4 hours, and I was like, this place is terrible, but
yeah,
it grew on me a little bit. Well, Germany grew on me. Vilsack never grew on me.
Dude, but Germany was so sick. Did you go to Oktoberfest?
Yeah, I went to Munich for Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
And then like first back from Germany, went to Berlin. And I remember one of my friends, so I'd already been like 2 or 3 times. And then I went with my friend, with his wife once, and they like wanted to go to a museum, and I'm like 21, just back from deployment. Going to a museum seems like the worst thing in the world, right? Like,
why would I want to do that?
I possibly want to do that? And then like, so we go in, and the first thing is like, you like go in this elevator and go below ground, and like there's like absolutely not allowed to touch your phone. They have like humidity and temperature control on the wall. And I'm like, what weird stuff did you guys get me into? And we like go down the hallway, and there's a real mummy right there.
Oh shit.
And I was like, okay, I guess maybe I'm a little into museums.
Yeah, this is kind of metal. All right.
Yeah, I didn't realize the like degree of museum we were talking there, right? I'm used to like, normally they're like, oh, these arrowheads are from the whatever tribe, and like I could go on mission trails and accidentally find one myself, like, and then we were like, I was like, okay, that's like what, 4,000-year-old dead body right there. That's pretty intense.
Like, dude, they do some things right in Germany. Autobahn, perfect.
The roads through Berlin, I think, should be a roadmap for all the other major cities of the world. Because I mean, you could just. I mean, they like try and make it sound negative, like, oh, Hitler just did that so he could get his tanks through. Like, well, I don't care how he figured it out. Like, it works.
They're like, it was efficient.
Yeah, hey, maybe he's not a great guy, but he's great at building some roads.
I hate to say it, but he built a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad that came with it, but there was also like some good that, penicillin, I think, was one of them. Even though,
I mean, we wouldn't have any surgeries without it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, did you grow up racing, or like when did you start riding?
Yeah, I grew up riding. So I think I started when I was like 5, 6, and I rode like my parents rode in the desert, but like I was a kid, so that to me, desert was line of sight of the car, right? I was nothing like the desert that I do now, right? And then eventually we ended up going to tracks because they had El Cajon Speedway for a little bit there, which was like super close to my house. I still my favorite track, even though it's been gone for over a decade.
Yeah.
And they tore it down, saying they're going to expand the airport, never expand the airport, and they're still just like the speedway and where the motocross track was is just like just dirt, not being used for anything. So glad they got rid of that,
Dude, that's the Cali way, man.
Yeah. And so, but 17, moved out of my parents, and just couldn't afford to race by myself.
Yeah.
Joined the Army at 18. But first duty station was Germany. So
what year did you get there?
I was would have been 2009. It was Christmas Eve of 2009.
Okay.
So
we're like the same age then.
Yeah, was there for like 6 months. Deployed, which was a wild shift because I went from like 55-degree highs to like 120-degree highs.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, we had so many like heat casualties like the first like 3 weeks. I'm like, why did you do this to us? All we did was play in the snow, and now you put me in like one of the hottest places in the world.
Dude, we had a National Guard unit on our COP, and so as like MPs, and they were training the AUP to like do stuff. And so when they ripped out, their incoming unit was National Guard from like Montana, and their cook, this big giant lady, like became a heat cat as soon as she didn't make it to the ECP from the motor pool. Like, is built up the side of this mountain, and she heat catted like 20 feet away from the truck.
So I remember we land and like run off the back, right? Like set up your little perimeter like you're supposed to. And the wings have the jets right there, right? On the Chinooks, and like they're hot, right? So it's not like, and so you're sitting there, it's super hot because you're right by a jet engine, and then it'll pick up and flies off, right?
Yeah.
And I remember so we did that. We're off. We like make our little circle, and she picks up, and the temperature never changed. No.
You're like, I thought there was supposed to be a cool down period here.
Yeah. Normally, Chinook flies away. When they're 50 feet, it goes to like the normal temperature, right? And it picked up and flew away, and the temperature never changed. And I was like, oh boy.
So where'd you guys land at?
We went into Kandahar, and then we were, I want to say we were like 100 or 60 clicks southwest of Kandahar. So it's like there's a bunch of dunes there. And we were really close to Pakistan. But like where the official line is all like sand dunes.
Dude, you guys are way south.
Yeah. So we were, like a mile north of these sand dunes, and our whole goal over there was they were taking weapons from Pakistan that bring them to the edge of the dunes, and then they bury them, and then somebody from like Highway 1 would come down to the sand dunes and pick them up. And there's between Highway 1 and the sand dunes, I mean, it's been a while, but I want to say it was probably like 4 miles. So our whole goal was just to intercept, like, you know, anybody trying to pick up these weapons caches.
Yeah.
Which wasn't all that fun.
No.
Because, you know, if they're picking up a weapons cache, they're obviously very well armed, right? Like,
yeah, they're gonna protect those for sure.
Yeah, shoot one RPG at you instead of reloading it. Just grab the next one that's in the cache.
Yeah. They're like, dude, I got all this stuff here, man. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, we did not do well, but I mean, happens.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know, you do whatever you're told. It just kind of sucks that when we pulled out, they just pretty much pulled everybody out of that area. Because like as I was like in the transition of like ending our deployment is when they got Osama.
Oh yeah.
And then it was like, okay, they got Osama, so now just like stop everything, just go to the towers and like man the bases. And I was like, man, we did a lot of fighting for what?
Yeah, no. So like when I was there, because I got there in 12, and that's when they had switched to 9-month deployments, which was like kind of nice. But you went to Osama bin Laden's like old house over kind of behind the prison, the Saraposa prison, where they do like prison breaks like once a year. And yeah, the AUP guys like saw some dude that wasn't supposed to be there and ended up having to walk his ass all the way to the prison. Dude, it was like, I felt like I was in Nam, man. It was just humid. There's like grass up to here. I'm like 6'2", so I'm trying to like see over this shit. Dude, it was ridiculous.
There's definitely my joke I made. We were like desert. The joke I made all the time was like how are they? If their little jingle truck breaks down, how are they gonna live? It's like it was a little marijuana, almost exclusively poppies in the area I was in, and I was like, okay, maybe that's what makes you the most amount of money, but don't you guys need some food?
Yeah, right.
The only food I literally saw my entire time there was they had this really small like watermelon grove thing, and that was for feeding the camels. And you did not want to eat any of those. There were all worms all through them, everything else, right? But I was like, dang, nobody around here has any food. Everybody's growing, but nobody's growing anything you can eat.
I don't know what they're probably just eating their own doo-doo. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think they take their poppy sticks to the bazaar and then buy some stuff and come back. But I'm like, I was doing all that farming. I think I'd at least have a couple things for me. But
I know it's so weird over there. Like their cows and stuff are just like emaciated. Don't walk through the black sludge.
I know it's all anything except camels.
I saw one camel, but we were also in the city. Like we could see the Kandahar University we were at, and we had some guys in placing an IED at one point, and they're like, why didn't you guys shoot at him? It's like, well, because you told us when we got here we can't shoot mortars in the city. They're like, so why didn't you shoot at him? Fuck, man! Like, can we win?
Yeah. I was very disappointed with our rules of engagement when we got there. As soon as we showed up, they said that they could point a weapon at us, and we weren't supposed to engage unless fired upon, because they could potentially have an optic on the top of the weapon and just trying to get a better view.
Yeah,
and I don't know who approved that, but
until it's on your forehead.
So until I'm hit, I can't return fire.
Yeah.
I mean, could you just imagine like if Russia like got into the United States and you're just like, you owned a gun, right? And you see a giant battalion of Russian soldiers walking in front of your house. Can you imagine you go in and grab your N4 and like with your ACOG and like, oh, I'm just trying to get a better look. I don't.
Yeah. I'm just checking your bros out, man. That's cool.
I'm not gonna do anything malicious here, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Meanwhile, they're like, "Oh, don't point your rifle at anything unless you mean to shoot it." I'm like, yeah, okay. Can we get the same rules?
Yeah, like I intend to shoot this dude. Like,
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
so yeah, we didn't really have that great of a time over there, mostly because of IDs. We just I don't know everywhere we went.
I heard
Um,
you guys got like you guys were getting the business because I'm pretty sure I know. Did you know Grau?
yeah,
Yeah, I was talking to him because he was still there, and he was telling me it's pretty gnarly.
it didn't go all that great for us, and like I said, it was mostly IDs. Just I mean, because the Vilsec's the mechanized infantry, right? But I think we used vehicles for a month and a half.
Yeah,
Everywhere we went, we got blown up.
yeah,
So yeah, it's too easy to single out something that weighs that much.
mm-hmm.
So we abandoned our vehicles pretty quickly.
That
They
better.
just just became really fancy tower guard ornaments,
Yeah,
and then just walked everywhere after that.
yeah. That was kind of how we started out, was walking everywhere, and then once they transitioned to AUP doing stuff, we basically stopped running missions, and then they'd just be like, "Yeah, we're gonna go get food at like wherever, go pick this guy up, or just EOD escorts." So it got super lame, and I was like, "Come on,
No,
guys."
that's why. So I did my deployment, came back. They like they after Osama was dead, they like changed all the rules, and they're just like, hey, they're like, you can't haze, you can't do this, you can't do that.
Yep.
And it didn't feel the same to me. So I mean, initially I was thinking like I was going to do my 20,
Mm-hmm.
and as soon as I came back and also I was in Germany, we had a lot more flexibility in Germany. Then as soon as I came back, they moved me to Fort Polk, Louisiana, which is not anywhere anybody wants to be. It's just
I
like
dodged that one.
it's just a little. There's the base, and then it's just a heroin mecca directly outside the base.
Oh, that's like
Uh,
every military installation ever.
well, not military. I think that's army. I think the army chooses places that the bases they need to put a base somewhere. You need a large section of land, and why wouldn't you make it? Why wouldn't you like look at pricing, right?
Yeah.
So if you just like think of like basic economics, like okay, they're going to buy a big slot of land, probably that's somewhere really cheap, and then it turns around and it's like, well, why is it really cheap?
Right.
And then there's a lot of army bases that because like you're the Navy, right? Obviously, you got to be somewhere near the water.
Yeah.
If you look at the population, a lot of people are near the water,
Yeah.
right? So there's lots of cities for the army. Like they really can't put us anywhere. They put us somewhere cheap, and then you end up in this situation where you have all these soldiers in the middle of like a not great area,
Yeah.
and then I don't know. I don't think it's great for the soldiers either. Um,
No.
when you're having some like mental health issues and you're surrounded by drug havens, which
Yeah.
seems to be at least half the army bases.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, historically, I would say it's not working out all that good.
Yeah.
We
Like I
we
was
we have. I mean, we were infantry, and like when stuff wasn't all that good. I mean, definitely not like first invasion level, but and still there's way more of us now that have died from suicide or OD than we actually lost over there. And
oh yeah.
I that hurts me more than anything. It's like, man, we went over there and did all that just so you could come back and feel a certain way and end it yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, that honestly drives me up. Did you ever know Loomis?
I don't
He
think
might have
so.
he might have got
I'm
there after
definitely
you
a base
left.
guy though, so
He so he deployed his 101st. He ended up getting a Purple Heart. He got shot in the neck, barely missed his carotid, and like the dude just loved the war. And then he unalived himself a few years ago, and I was like, dude, that stuff is like soul crushing.
Yeah.
And
Well, I have to feel bad of like these people that I cared about and, you know, have done so much with that it's not just about like them ending it. It's feeling guilty about how bad they must have felt for that period of time before that, right?
yeah, then you're
And
like,
then,
what could I have done? Was I just being like a shitty friend?
well, it sucks to know, like, you know, they were hurting, and it probably wasn't just like that day, right? Like this is
Yeah,
probably something that was developed for a long period of time.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I mean, obviously, military, especially frontline units, have not done all that great with mental health. And I remember when I was in, they were like, "Oh, you can go. It won't hurt your career path or anything." And I'm like, "You guys that's the biggest lie I've ever heard." All right,
Yeah, no,
you're infantry. I don't care what they say. I don't care how many things they put out saying it's not that way. That is exactly when I left. That was deeply how it was. If you're in mental health for anything, your career was done.
yeah. I think it's probably around like 2014 is when they like stopped holding it against you,
Yeah,
because then like dude, everyone was flooding to freaking mental health, and some platoon sergeants would be like, "Oh, you're just trying to get out of this," and it's like, no, dude, like I legit want to kill myself right now. Like
yeah.
I am super depressed, and like for me, dude, they put me on antidepressants and Adderall and Ambien because I wasn't sleep. I didn't sleep for probably like a
That's an
year.
absolutely horrendous combination of drugs.
Yeah, dude, it was terrible. And after that, and I had multiple TBIs too. My last one, in country, and that's when like my wife and I started getting into more natural wellness sort of things to cut all that crap out. And yeah, and then I got out and I was like, dude, what am I gonna do? So that's when I started riding. Like, how did do does riding do the same for you like it did for me? Just
So when I came back, I actually didn't ride for a long time
really,
because I mean, I was pretty quick when I was younger, then just like couldn't do it financially.
yeah,
And then I just kind of had a negative attitude
hmm,
when I got out of like, oh, like I missed any chance I had of going pro. So like, what's the point?
yeah,
And I just like wasn't interested in it. So from 17 to 29, I mean, all your golden years, didn't have a bike, didn't touch a bike,
yeah,
nothing. And then one of my friends I was pretty close with bought a bike, and like he's like full beginner,
hmm,
and he was going riding with one of his other friends. And eventually they're like suckered me into going. I borrowed some gear from my stepdad that like hadn't been worn, like I mean probably like 05-ish, right? So like I just like borrow some gear. It's not even my size, but it's like
yeah,
it's close enough. But then I start riding, and like all the stitching starts coming undone, like because it's so old, like the threading is just like dissolving.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, so I before I was like halfway naked from the gear falling apart.
yeah,
I got like 30 minutes on the bike, and I was like, man, that's amazing. Maybe I should get a bike. So um, then it was like 2 weeks later, I got a tax return. So I was like, man, that's like half a bike right there, you know?
yeah,
So picked up a used bike. Um, and me and my cousin, like, always like banter to each other. And he was like, oh, I'm doing this race. Maybe you're fast and you're young, but I'll smoke you now. So I showed up to that race, and then he actually didn't even show up to the race. So then
oh,
I'm just
ditched out,
there for no reason. I'd ridden the bike like twice at that point,
yeah.
and I think there was like a little over 100 people, and I ended up getting fourth.
What class
And
you
I was like,
race?
open.
Open.
Yeah. So I got well, I mean, I got fourth overall. And I was like, wow, like I wasn't even trying to get anywhere near any placement. I was just trying to finish and not embarrass myself. I'd never done desert racing at that time. Like I'd never done a desert race. I just like was totally out of my element and did pretty well. And I was like, man, fourth, like imagine if I actually put some time into this.
Right. A little
Um,
practice.
and then so like actually got my suspension done, and like started actually getting things together and start riding again. And I don't know, fortunate enough, I was did really well really quickly. But I mean, to me, nothing is like more therapeutic than dirt bikes. It's,
Dude, 100%.
Especially like if you can think about anything except what you're doing, then you're not going fast enough.
No.
To me, like you could have the worst ADHD, you can do anything else. If you're coming into a corner 30 miles an hour faster than you can make this corner, then you better be thinking about those brakes, or right, like.
Oh, man.
I mean, not to be dramatic, but I feel like it's like
that's not dramatic at all.
It's that like the true life threateningness of dirt bikes is the only thing that clears my head.
Dude.
I'm really guilty of doing something and thinking about a million other things while I'm doing it, and only being like half present.
Yeah.
And I am, every single time I touch a dirt bike, I'm 100% present. And there's nothing else in the world that does that.
Yep, that's exactly what I say. I was like, there's nothing that locks you in like trying not to die.
Yeah.
Because I've caught myself doing that. I've got ADHD like super bad. And so I'll just be, booking it down something as fast as I can ride. I'm not crazy like you are, but
the speed doesn't matter. It's that speed relevant to your skills is what matters, right?
Right.
That's where the threat is.
Right.
Right.
And as soon as you feel or as soon as I feel my brain start to wander, that's when I miss a rock. And luckily, like my body positioning is good enough to where I can take it. But like, there's some times where if I would just been like an inch back, dude, I would have gone over or something, just annihilated myself.
A lot of people think like, oh, dirt bikes are dangerous, and I mean, obviously, I got a lot of broken bones.
They are.
They clearly are, but I mean, being lost in your head might be more dangerous.
Oh yeah, I've been there, man, and it sucks. So, it's a dark place. And,
yeah.
But yeah.
So, I bought the bike. I started riding, and I rode for like 6 months, and then I heard somebody brought up VetMX to me. Great organization, but you pay like a monthly fee, and they have like a deal with a bunch of people to get discounts on, and like they brought it up on the discounts, and I was like, man, I get a discount just for being a veteran, and I don't even have to be like the annoying person at a checkout, like flash around my VA card, right?
They do military discounts.
Yeah.
I don't want to sex.
So then I just like kind of looked around a little bit, just to like, see what other options are out there. And I came across Warrior Built.
Yeah.
So I went to their facility, have a beautiful facility there in Lake Elsinore. And so must have been 5 years ago, like this exact time, about 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I just like stopped in, and they're like, yeah, we're about to do this Vegas Reno. And at that time I was totally like out of my budget. That wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, I'd love to go pit for you guys. So like I signed up to like just go help them with their race.
Mm-hmm.
And then like 2 days ahead of time, they're like, well, we actually have a spot if you want to do it. And I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, they're really what got me like back into like the racing side. I'd done that one race, but that was just like, because my cousin was going to be there, and then I went back to not racing, and I was just riding every once in a while.
Yeah.
And then I went and did like my couple sections of Vegas Reno, and I'd never done a true desert race like that. And I was like, this is fun. I still love motocross, but I love instead of doing circles on a track, I love the unknown, right? I feel like
dude, I love that.
it brings the adrenaline up that much, like when I'm coming up to a knoll and I can't see over it, and I'm like, do I check up and lose 10 seconds here, or do I send it and hope there's not a corner on the other side, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I was really worried about that. Like, got me into that side. Then started racing for a while. Ended up having a bad crash, broke 17 bones. And then
Is that where you got that gnarly like shoulder scar from?
Yeah.
Dude, that's wicked.
That's my shoulder's still not together. Actually, that the surgery failed.
Oh no.
So about 2 years ago, they told me that the surgery had failed, and that I was going to need to do another one. But it's still technically an elective surgery.
Yeah.
Right. Because I don't have to them, anything besides like a compound fracture is elective surgery. Right. Doesn't matter if you could use your arm or not.
Yeah.
So like, oh, and then to get back in line, it's like an 18-month waiting period. And
that's in the VA.
Yeah. And I was like, that's like, I don't even know what I'll be. I wasn't even riding motorcycles 18 months ago, right? Like, what? Yeah. Your guys' timelines, crazy. So then just I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go break it again, and then you guys will do the surgery then. And that was about 2.5 years ago. I don't know. So it's super weak, but
still holding.
I know. So I'd had the surgery and like retired then.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be a 24-month recovery. And in that time, like I moved to Arizona, and then I ended up getting divorced, and she didn't want me riding anymore. I got divorced, and I was like, well, why not?
Yeah.
So again, bought a bike, showed up to I had a bike for like 3 weeks, showed up to the best in desert, Golden State, and had the best time of my life. So I was like, I'm not saying my shoulder's not having issues, but it's definitely an impairment, but I'm still able to do it. And this is what I love to do. So I was like, I'm just going to do it till I can't.
All right. I got one last question for you. You got to wrap this up because apparently only like 45 minutes to record on Zoom.
Oh, all right.
Baja 1000.
I've done it the last 3 years. If I do it, I'm probably just going to do it with Warrior Built to, try and help get the team across. I did the Nevada 1000 this year, and I think that was enough thousands for me to solo.
Yeah, dude, that's something I want to do so bad, but I kind of gave that dream up.
Yeah, it was 17 and a half hours for the Nevada 1000, and
I just want to suck fest, man. Like,
I got
I
it.
just want to relive it, man.
it definitely is. I mean, I think you could do Vegas Reno and suck a little bit. I think these thousands, it's when you're going on where you should be asleep, regardless of the fact that you've been on a bike for 18 hours.
Yeah. I know I did like a 2-hour hair scramble, and I was like, "Oh, this sucks."
You got to get really used to being super relaxed, like barely touching the bike, while also doing like 80% of your potential. And it's a weird spot to be in. I've done it. I've done the 1000 the last 3 years with Warrior Built.
Okay.
And I don't know, we've just been unlucky. We finished it the first year I went down with them. We finished it like half hour after the cutoff time. Which, I mean, the cutoff time is pretty long, so that was a while. Then the year after that was La Paz to Ensenada, and we were like 3/4 of the way before the bike just decided it was over it.
Yeah.
which if you look at the mileage, it kind of sucks because if that was a loop race, we would have been like where we were done is like that's where the loop would have finished.
Hmm.
But the peninsula runs another like 400 miles.
Yeah.
Um, and then last year, one of our guys went down, and then um, uh, so we had bike issues, but I think it's because of the crash, right?
Uh-huh.
You know, but
That'll happen.
you can only go flip the bike so many times before it gets mad at you and fights back.
Yeah. How big a tank are you guys running on those bikes?
I believe they have the 3.2, which is
Okay.
the same as what I run on my bike.
So you're not
Um,
not running a big old 5 gallon freaking beast mode.
no, so the 5.5 gallon tanks, I think those are more for like adventure riders, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I
I have one
thought.
at my house. Number one, and maybe this just a I'm old thing, but I have to stretch out to get my legs spread that open. Okay, this
Yeah, how
my
tall are you?
5'10". There's if you like move up on the tank like you should when you're
Yeah.
coming into any corner, I mean your legs are out. Like I'm not flexible like that.
Neither am I, but I also got these long dancer legs too.
That's
So
I like to keep my legs together. So you
yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm like inherently loose on the bike, man. I feel like freaking Jason Anderson just not like good.
I'm I mean I'm very flamboyant riding style, but I'm tight.
Yeah.
um, I mean I got 37 broken bones now, so it's catching up to me, right?
Oh yeah.
Uh, that and then if I'm not riding, what am I doing? I'm in an office chair all day, right?
Yeah.
Like doing the things that aren't all that inherently good for your long-term health.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I have I
That's
have one at my house, and the fuel pickup is so much higher than like the bottom
hmm
that in a race setting, I don't feel comfortable with like that last gallon.
Oh yeah.
If you're just putting around, then like absolutely, like if you just want to go for an adventure ride, then yeah. But if
hmm
you're going to be holding it wide open to where you're doing maximum fuel consumption and your fuel pickups up here and like literally it's like 8 inches below is where the bottom of those wings go.
Yep.
I mean, gravity only works so much, right? or
Yeah, it's like supposed to use the vibration from off road to get it into like the little pool where the freaking
the
fuel pump
pickup,
is.
yeah.
Yeah. At least that's how mine
I
is.
mean,
Mine's
I'm
a
sure it sloshes around and gets a lot of it, but I can't commit to that on a race setting.
oh, I wouldn't. That's
That's right.
too unreliable for a race setting, dude. Like you
I
gotta have it dialed.
if you took that same design, I think you could have an amazing 4.5 gallon tank.
hmm
My issue with that is that's not far enough for me to do two pits, right?
Yeah.
Um, the industry is kind of at 3 gallons. So like when
hmm
Best in the Desert and Legacy and Score, well, Score Mexico you pit wherever you want, but so Legacy like Mint 400 or Best in the Desert races, like they know what we can do in
Yeah.
distance and they accommodate that, right?
Yeah.
So if you show up with something drastically different than everybody else, and it's like,
They're
and
just
like I
like,
said,
what's that?
well, it's like that's not how they're going to have their pits set out, right? They're going to have
Yeah.
their just about all of us are about we need pits between 60 to 70 miles, and if you
Yeah.
go like I haven't even looked at the Vegas Reno ones, but I bet you they're all at like 55, right? Like they
Yeah.
normally are. And if they can't make it, then they'll add another one in there. Um,
hmm
so to me, if you can't do the whole 5.5 to basically skip pits,
Yeah.
then it doesn't really make you're just extra weight.
hmm
And then I mean also too, like I don't know the difference in weight, but I would imagine gas and water weigh about the same, right? Water's 8 pounds a gallon. You have 5.5 gallons on the front there, where
Dude, you
you're
feel
you're at
it.
50, you're at 50 gallons of gas. You're also running into like, all right, so like how are you going to set up those forks?
hmm
Are you going to be completely spongy and just blow through all your valving immediately when you're a full tank? Or are you going to have some like F350 springs on that thing and be okay in the beginning, and then
They
you're
start
50
getting
miles
light.
in, the beginning of your suspension's okay, and you're halfway to your next pit, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden it's like you just have a steel rod up there, right? So there's other parts with it too. And nowadays with the quick fills, I mean, I I pretty consistently can do 7-second pits.
Dude,
So
that's
it's like,
moving, man.
well, we got the quick. I knocked the thing off
Yeah.
when we're coming in. Even if you're going to go through the pits, you still have to go through the speed zone. So I'm not losing any time
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
right? I just pull over, put it in. I think the gas tank itself fills up in 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like just come in, try and catch neutral on my way in. I go like this with my hand, just like get myself out of the way.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
put it in and I take off. Maybe I'll grab a goo or something, and I'll eat it, throw it on the ground, have my pit crew will grab it.
Yeah.
If I need to change the camelback, I'm still under 15 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the time lost almost doesn't really make sense, even if we can get the bigger tank to work, because it's, now I'm jacking my suspension all up and going in a circle that way, and for what, 7 seconds?
Yeah,
And then
dude.
if you're racing Ironman like me, sometimes those are my favorite 7 seconds, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so,
Like,
so,
can we make
some,
this
some,
8?
yeah. So sometimes I wish they'd ban the quick fills. Make it
I
go to the
know.
old way. Give me, actually get a break in between there.
I'll just be like, oh, dude, we forgot the quick fill, man.
Oh no.
Got the old donkey dick.
Yeah. 'Cause like I said, it takes a long time, and to like do these races, and then I'm always dead no matter what, though, because I exert myself to like what I know the race is, right?
Yeah.
So like just at the Nevada 1000, I finished in like 17 and a half hours.
Mm-hmm.
But like I can go do the Silver State 300 and you'll see me at the finish and I will look just as dead as these longer races. And it's like, because I'm just, the shorter you make it, the higher the intensity I have,
Yeah.
right? So, which only makes sense. If you're finishing a 3-lap motocross race and you're not coming in sounding like you have asthma about to kick the bucket, then I just don't think you're trying hard enough.
Yeah, dude. Oh, dude, that's me. Just right. Get that way, dude. I'm so like cardio wise, I'm so out of shape, man. But I've also gotten to the point now where like I can ride for a good amount of time and not just be like totally gassed and tired like I used to when I had zero technique.
A lot of it's mental too. Feeling comfortable, then you relax, so you're using less, your heart rate's lower. If you sign up for a race and you're nervous about that race, you could be sitting on the line with 150 beats per minute, and you physically haven't done anything. You thought yourself into that, right?
No, and you're just getting that adrenaline dump too, which is gonna wear on you.
Yeah. Well, and then adrenaline's the worst thing you could do during these desert races. Motocross races are short enough; it's over and you're fine. You get adrenaline dump sitting on the starting line before you start a 1,000-mile race or a 500-mile race. Like the adrenaline's going to be gone in 20 minutes, and you are going to be nowhere near the finish. So you're really setting yourself up for a rough day.
But that also comes with like exposure though. Like I've done I think 2 races and each time both times like I was nervous, but I'm sure you've done a lot. You're like your first couple races, you're like, okay, yeah, this is like gonna be gnarly. Now you're kind of just like, I just gotta make it to the end, guys.
Yeah, I feel like so back in 2020 and 2021, I raced the Dirt Series, which is like the regional championship little race. I think COVID just about killed them. I know they moved to Texas, sold it to somebody else, and I think the company kind of went under, which is rather sad because they're a great organization for quite a bit of time. but so I was doing their races, and like just the intensity of the motocross on like, I mean, it's what, like a 6 minute race, right?
Mhm.
And to go from that, and then when I went to desert, I was like, it's more about like making it, but I feel like it helped a lot when trying to like make passes because
Yeah.
I feel like it made it. I got me really familiar with like being able to switch between like, okay, this is our 80% that we can do, and that will actually get us to the finish. And
Mhm.
then I've always been really good at, okay, spiking and like making this pass happen, and then going back to something sustainable again.
Right.
I feel like motocross helped a lot with like the passing portion of the desert because it's hard.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
like kind of nerve wracking, dude.
sometimes I'm in somebody's dust and he's half a mile away, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like I'm a quarter mile behind the person. I can't see my front fender, right? So
Yeah.
like it takes so much to make the passes happen in the desert. Um, they're not right there. And you can't see to get to them.
Right.
Um, last year, I was trying to make a pass, came up on a danger, never saw it, hit it. Ended up breaking a rib. Yeah, that time I think it was just one rib. And then broke my helmet visor like 160 miles in, was super annoying because I was going, and then like obviously that's fast race, and like I'd be like 90 miles an hour, and all of a sudden the visor would halfway catch, and then I'd have a wind sail in the front. Yank my head back. It was like trying to hold it down, and like I'm on the gas on this side and holding my visor down with the other hand.
Should
Um,
have just Mike
but
Mexered it, man. Just yank that sucker off.
I couldn't get it off. I tried to.
Oh, what kind of
It,
helmet is it? Doesn't have like the little quick release bolt or whatever, the thumb screws.
yeah, just the bell.
Oh,
But I love Bills. I'm not sponsored by them, or I get no support from them. This is not a paid thing. It's
not a
just
plug.
I've gone down and like destroyed my helmet
Hmm.
and not had a concussion with Bills. So I'm
Yeah,
like I just don't see a reason to switch when they've done so well for me.
yeah. So I did a like a research assignment for college because I started like a year ago, and it was basically like, is the safety market keeping up with like motocross, because those dudes are so fast now. Like
Yeah,
the Austin Faulkner's crash like sparked this, and like one of the safest helmets and that had the most technology in it was like the Alpine Stars.
yeah.
And
Um, I love I run their boots.
yeah.
Their helmets are made for like I have a very like boxy face,
Hmm.
so their helmets like I have gap here, and it's like breaking my cheekbones over here. So
Yeah, I
like
could see that.
I, I'm sure their stuff's great, but if the helmet doesn't fit your face, it's just not going to matter, right? It
Yeah.
could be the fanciest, most technological helmet ever, right? But like if it
Hmm.
doesn't fit the head that's going into it, you can't really convince me that that's the right choice.
Right. And that was another thing that went in that report too, was face shape. And I forgot which company it was. But they basically say like, hey, if your face is shaped like this helmet's not going to work for you. And I was like, I appreciate you guys being upfront about that. So
Yeah. So growing up, I had a like I don't know thinner face. Um, so
what
I
happened?
always ran showies. I always ran showies.
Yeah.
Um, and then I hit puberty, and I'm like, this just doesn't work anymore.
Your head just got massive.
That just got got too wide, I guess.
Yeah. That's sick. I run Troy Lee. Got it. Yeah. Got the Troy Lee S5.
Yeah,
And I like it. Like my head's like kind of tall. It's still pretty small, but it's pretty nice. And then I tried on like the Kleins because they're local to me, and their helmet seems pretty good too. But
yeah. I haven't tried them yet, but I was kind of decided that I wanted to be married to Belle really before they were a thing.
yeah, I mean, hell,
So
dude, Tomac runs them. Coop does.
Well, they also get paid, so
Yeah, they also get paid.
I'll do a lot of things for the right price, you know.
Right. Yeah, no, I when I was initially researching because I was gonna do the Mint 400, and when I was researching just like the ECE stuff and just basically helmet regulations, Bell was like one of the only ones that met all of that at the time. And then the next year, I think they had changed it, and I was like, "Yeah, dude, Bells are probably really freaking good. They're expensive, you know, they're carbon fiber ones." And I now understand the value of
I
a
run the
light
one down.
helmet.
I run the I I think they're like $400 ones.
Yeah,
I
they're
don't
ball
run the one
out.
that's there. I don't run the one that's their best one, and it's definitely a little heavier.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I got decent sized straps. I can hold my
there
head
you
up.
go.
Um,
You have to, that big ass head of yours.
yeah, you know. So it's I don't know. The carbon fiber too. I know they say like you drop your helmet once, it's done. But like with carbon fiber, like that's really how it's going to be, right? Like
Yeah.
it's you're going to break that lacing,
Hmm.
um, and I don't know. I hit the ground a little bit too much for that price.
Yeah. Especially like, are you one of the dudes that'll like drop your new helmet to get
No,
it out of the way? Okay, neither am I.
no.
I just know some people do it. I'm like, what?
I'll do it soon enough.
Yeah.
It won't.
Like my head's gonna hit the ground at some point in time.
Yeah. Um, you said you had TBIs, right?
Yeah.
Um, have you? How old were you? You're like 35 now, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever try to take anything for it when you were younger?
No, I got my first TBI I think when I was 5 or 6. I was like jumping back and forth from a coffee table, slipped, smashed my head on the and it's a hardwood table. And
Yeah.
then BMX racing, snowboarding. Dude, I just smacked my head tons of times doing that shit. And then my last one in Afghanistan, it wasn't like we didn't even get blown up. We were doing some training on a fob, and like my vehicle, when it someone was ground guiding us at night, and my vehicle like went into this giant hole that could fit a Max Pro like perfectly. But when I rebound, like smacked my head on the window, and you know how like army pads don't rate for impact at all.
Yeah.
And so that was my last one. But I was getting really bad headaches as I was getting out, and like incapacitating headaches. And then so I started taking as like an injection thing, and that helped. And then once I moved from Texas up to Idaho, like I stopped taking those, and now I just take like magnesium, and I'm way less stressed also, which I think had a lot to do with it. But
I mean, definitely headaches.
yeah, so
Um, so I got blown up. I was 20, like for Afghan, right?
yeah,
Um, and so when I came back, um, I ended up getting a fight, and they put me in. I ended up at Walter Reed for like 3.5 months at like the
dang,
inpatient psych ward there.
yeah,
And they had done a CAT scan on me and like showed me the damage. Um, and I was like, I don't know, kind of depressed about it because I was like, man, I like broke myself in a way that can't be fixed, right? Like
yeah,
you're like your brain's a lot different than a bone, right?
mm-hmm,
And then I started looking at it like into it more, like on my own study, and I don't know. There's your brain is can do some pretty amazing things. There's people who've like had like nails into their brain and like didn't die and were like somehow able. And it's like, well, this guy has to be worse than me, right? Like,
yeah,
um, so I just like was looking into my on my own. Ended up taking a bunch of IGF, LR3, which I'm not telling anybody else to do, but that's what I did. Um, which is what like growth hormone breaks it down into.
mm-hmm,
Um, and between that and then like, so your brain's really developing until you're like 25, right?
yep,
And I hit puberty super late, so mine's probably more like 27. And I really think between like what I was taking and then just being young enough,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would consider myself like very healed, right? Um, I don't know. I mean, there's no way to test this, but I don't think I would have had the same experience had I been a decade older, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of what helped me was that I was young, and like my body was still developing, right? So we kind of like had that plasticity.
Yeah.
Um, and then just like because I was already going down that hole, that's what got me to be like, all right, I'm getting out of the military because at the time I was on like 8 different medications.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even know. It's like mood stabilizers, antidepressants, lithium, oxycontin. Like I was on this like just whole slew of medications, and then I was like, and I was just like, oh, doctor gave it to me. That's what I should be doing. And then I started like looking, and I'm like, this is not. And then also just how I felt. Like I just felt like a zombie all
Yeah.
the time, right? They'd be like, oh, do you have you had any anger outbursts? I'm like, have I had any emotion at all? No, no, no. Like,
Yeah.
no, and that wasn't like the life I wanted to live. So I was like, I'm going to stop taking this. And then they're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, if you stop taking that, then if you stop taking something that you're prescribed, um, like you get chaptered out. And I'm like, then
Oh,
I don't
really?
care.
I did not.
And thankfully, I don't know. I guess that was just an idle threat because they definitely did that. Didn't do that. I got out honorably.
Yeah.
But I was just like, it was like the one kind of brought me into the other. Like me doing research on TBIs is what got me to like look into the medications and be like, just if you need an SSRI, I'm not telling anybody not to take it, but taking that stuff long term, it's not like you take it and you're just healed, right? Like there's definitely things that go along with taking any medication for a long period of time. And I
Yeah.
was like, I'm on all these medications, and it's like there's basically no studies on how these things work like together,
Mm-hmm.
right? I can pull up a million studies for you on Lexapro or Paxil or I mean even Xanax, any of them, right?
Yeah.
Any one singular drug, I can give you all the things that they had to do to legally make those, or to make those legal.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like nearly nothing on doing these things like in combinations.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like, and I'm taking like literally every drug I possibly could.
Yeah. You're
Um,
trying.
so I stopped taking it, and I was just like instantly felt so much better. And I was like, well, I'm not saying I don't have some things to work on, but this doesn't seem to be the right answer.
Yeah.
This really feels like I'm just pacifying the situation.
Yeah. You're putting a band-aid
Um,
on it. You're not actually fixing the problem.
yeah. So, I kind of just like got into doing it just kind of like doing my own health. Um, and I'm pretty happy about that. And used my GI Bill, got my bachelor's in business administration, then used like Voc Rehab and some loans to get my master's degree, and then was like doing accounting for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ended up, one of my uh, clients at the time had a HRT clinic, and then that was like also kind of down that road that I'd been down, and
Yeah.
that's like kind of what sucked me in that way. And then when the opportunity came, started my own clinic with some friends,
Mm-hmm.
um, and we've done really well. But I I wish we had more medical like that for veterans, of like less just like throwing drugs at them, maybe some like more mental health stuff. And definitely, try to make it not ruin their career if they talk to anybody. Uh, and so with TBIs or any brain injury, I mean, no matter how you get it, right? It doesn't matter if it's a car accident or uh, an IED, right? Like
Mhm.
a brain injury is a brain injury. I found out later because my friend got me to go take a blood test, and I went and did it with my wife at the time, and my wife had higher testosterone than me. And then if you look up the side effects of low testosterone, I'm like, just straight down,
Yeah.
yes,
Checked every
right?
box.
There's like eight key points, right? And I'm just like hard yes on every single one of them. And for me, I started taking 200 milligrams of testosterone, which is, I mean, pretty low dose, right?
Yeah, I think it's what
Nothing.
I'm on.
That's a joke for compared to any like bodybuilder or anything, right? It's not
Yeah.
gonna make you huge, just to like put me back to where like I was supposed to be.
Mhm.
And since then, like I've say I have no more. Everyone has anxiety. I have no more anxiety than like the normal person since
Yeah.
I've been on TRT.
Mhm.
And I just wonder, like, especially for anybody with head injuries, how many veterans are like in that same pool, you know?
Yeah. Because I just did a shot yesterday, and I think I went a little too hard on it because I jammed it in my leg. I was like, oh, I didn't feel right. But yeah. So I've been
I
on
I,
it now.
I only do,
You don't do the injections?
yeah, I only do glutes.
No, I did the gel, and I don't know. Is I had to do it every single day, and like during hunting season, if I'm up in the mountains, like it's kind of a pain in the ass to freaking put it
I
on.
strongly recommend nobody takes the gels or the pills
Yeah,
because it's too inconsistent. And
yeah,
anything you put in your stomach, it's like, okay, well, how much food have you had? Or like honestly, more importantly, how acidic is your stomach at that moment, right?
right.
If you go drink some milk and then take that pill, you're gonna get a different dose of the same pill than
Hmm.
if you had it with a glass of orange juice, right?
Yeah,
And something like testosterone, I think you want to be a little more consistent than that. And then the
that's why I moved
gel,
to the injections.
the gel, you're kind of stuck on the well, like how open are your pores, right?
Yeah,
If you if you're outside in the cold versus like if you're somewhere hot and just went for a jog, like you're gonna have a different rate of absorption. So
yeah,
it's how are how are you gonna regulate to maintain, right?
hmm,
When you have that many variables. Where I know a lot of people don't like needles, but I'm like it's once a week, and
yeah. Do once a week.
you're changing you're totally you're making it to where you can actually regulate this. Um,
Yeah,
and I think it's crazy that like so many people with the military were seen as like, oh, like the alpha males over here, right? Like you should have a bunch of testosterone. I think
yeah,
because of the job, if you do it long enough, you're almost guaranteed to have low testosterone. Like
yeah,
stress messes up all your hormones,
yeah. I did
right?
for
And
over
I
10
mean
years.
that's kind of the name of the game, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I think a lot of veterans are like hurting there too, from
Oh,
like
it's insane. Because I
like
know I had a bunch of platoon sergeants that are like, yeah, my dude, my testosterone is tanked.
yeah,
And I'm like, I was young, I was like, I don't believe that. Now I'm, in my mid 30s. I'm like, yeah, I
between
got it,
anxiety,
man.
between anxiety, adrenaline dumps, and the sleep schedule.
Yeah,
If you're not affected, I don't know. They should open up a case study on you and figure out how they can get your genes to everybody else. Because
absolutely. You are a specimen.
yeah, that's not the industry. So for me, something like as minor as TRT
Hmm.
is like made a huge difference. I mean, I started like 6 years ago, and I have absolutely no intention of ever stopping.
Really.
Yeah,
I,
this is my commitment.
I think I want to try to get off of it after about a year and try to do it naturally. But we'll see. I don't know. Because I've tried like natural stuff before and like it didn't really like do much.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I try to do, like I said, things naturally, and
I mean, most time I agree with you. For me, I just felt like
that might be one of
it,
those things I
it,
can't though.
it worked so well. I was like,
Yeah.
And I mean, because there's been plenty of times in the last 6 years where I forgot to take a shot or something, and then I just like blow it off, or I don't know, like I'm already in bed, so I just don't want to do it. And man, if I make it to the second week, I can distinctly tell the difference.
So you've gone 2 weeks, I guess,
Like I've
between
missed
shots?
what, like yeah, because I've missed the one shot, and then
Yeah.
I'm just not doing it. So like
Yeah.
now I'm about to take a shot, and I'm 2 weeks out, right?
Yeah. And you can feel it
And
then.
I very distinctly can tell the difference.
That's gnarly. I think I've only done like 3 days just because it's a pain in the ass to go get it. But
Literally.
it, yeah. No, I do my thigh. I don't want to overshoot it.
I don't like the fat ones because the next day it's sore.
Dude, the last like 2 times I've done it, it's been good. Like not sore at all. There's been a couple times I think I got too much air in there or something. But yeah, it
No,
was like
you're fine. You don't have to aspirate. You're fine. You just got a lot of stuff in your thighs.
I guess. Yeah,
But
so
so you do yours twice a week.
no, I do it once a week. Just do
So,
half a
yeah,
mil.
but I don't know. That's another thing I support. Every all veterans, like use your VA. Don't be doing that. But I support everyone. Just go to a private lab and get a blood panel on yourself. You
Yeah,
know.
there's a doctor I go to, and she does a thing called an endobiogeny, and it's where they test like 350 different like just like benchmarks on your blood, and it's super in depth.
Yeah.
So I'd probably recommend trying one of those.
I,
Most
I,
doctors probably like, I don't know what that is.
I, well, you just can't get you. It's not the doctors; it's the insurance that's normally the issue. So that's why,
Yeah.
like my clinic, we don't have insurance, and it's like we have completely different rules than everybody.
Hmm.
Everyone's like, "Oh, why, why do you guys want to run this?" And my doctor didn't. I'm like, "Your doctor probably did. He just couldn't because
Yeah.
he has to follow the insurance rules, and he has to every little thing he wants to do, he has to write up a 2-page explanation, right?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Ours, that endobiogenies doesn't get paid for by insurance, and it's 300 some
yeah,
bucks.
where it's like for $300 you can get the fanciest panel they have
Yeah.
and know everything about yourself.
Yep.
And I mean, I'm not saying $300 is the cheapest, but like I got it done one time, and basically the different like all my stuff was normal, so now I just get the basic one every 6 months, right? Because I'm like,
Yeah.
but I think everybody. I mean, I would recommend it on your first one, right? But if you have
Yeah.
the if you have the it's like twice as expensive, but if you have the funds to do so, just get the one that has everything on there, and then you just know, right? Like now you really have that peace of mind.
Yeah, definitely do it on that first one. And then it's like, all right, so I need to watch this, and this. So then when you go for your
Yeah,
next blood test, you can be like, just, test for these. I'm solid on everything else. Maybe once every couple of years, go ahead and get the big one just to make sure you're tracking straight.
yeah. Like mine, I need to look at my testosterone and my cholesterol. Literally everything else I have, I am
Hmm.
like dead centered. Like
Yeah, you're
they
good.
might as well be me. I might as well be the person that you compare yourself off of, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm right in the middle of every other thing they have, right down the center.
Hmm.
So, but obviously, if I had something, if I did the more complex panel and something came up, then keep running that one you have the issue with, right? Like
Yeah.
we make sure you actually get fixed. And I'm a big advocate for like doing it through the blood work,
Hmm.
right? You go to
Uh,
whatever Quest or LabCorp that's near you, and I'm like that. This is you telling you about your body. You see a
hmm.
lot of people, dudes at the gym, like taking steroids and everything else, and they look super healthy. And then you run a blood panel on them, and I'm like, dude, you're not going to be able to maintain this for very long, right? Like you just try and act, like actually be healthy, not just look healthy.
Well, look at that. One dude is Rich. I can't say his last name. Pin
Piana.
Yana. Yeah. That dude's like, dude, I do steroids and coke every day. I wouldn't recommend it, but I'm not gonna
Yeah.
live forever. I was like, fuck, dude, okay.
Well, you know, he died like 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Had a heart
I was,
attack.
yeah, I was like, you don't say.
Yeah.
But he was
It-
upfront and honest about it, though. He was like,
well,
"I'm doing this."
I super respect his honesty, like especially
Yeah,
his time. I feel like bodybuilders are having a little more transparency. But at the time, a lot of them were like, "Oh no, I'm not on steroids." I'm like, "Yeah, you're just naturally 320 pounds." Yeah.
yeah. Like,
Right. He was a lot more upfront with it, and then like actually put out good health information, saying like, "I'm doing this. This isn't healthy, but this is what I'm doing." You
oh
know,
yeah. Look at the gosh, what the heck's name? Coleman. What's his first name? Ronnie.
Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, dude, he's got the HGH gut and all this stuff. And
it's
then,
destroyed his knees.
dude, he fell his back too. His back is just like fuck. It was honestly kind of hard to see him like come out of surgery and like trying to recover and stuff. I was like, oh
Yeah.
damn, dude, like you are properly messed up.
Well, but so then there's Jay Cutler, who's like that's the
Yeah.
who took him off the Mr. Olympia stage, right? And I mean, Cutler's fine. Cutler's still huge today.
Yeah, he's massive.
He's walking around totally fine. So I think, I feel bad for Coleman that he's in his spot, but I
Mhm.
think like it's like the progression, and then you see stuff like that, and you're like, all right, well, what did Jay do differently than Ronnie? And if you want to maintain a lifestyle for a longer period of time, I would personally just recommend that you kind of go towards Jay Cutler's route.
Yeah, whatever,
Like,
whatever. They gotta be towards the same age though, I'd imagine.
yeah, I think Ronnie Coleman's a little bit older. I
Yeah.
mean, they both did absolutely amazing things during their primes.
Hmm.
Um, I'm just saying the quality of life after. I mean, like I said, Cutler's still big, still doing well.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
still crushing it.
he's out here with me in Vegas. I believe he just started his own clinic. He's
Really.
like, yeah, he's,
So you're on
but
first name basis with him, huh?
I don't know. He's a competitor.
Oh, yeah, I guess now.
He literally does
Like
the
we
exact
were.
same. He does this. He does the exact same thing we do.
That's funny. I mean, I guess I could see him getting into that. I know when I was in,
Well, I mean, how much not? Obviously, he did it at abusive levels, but how much knowledge do you think he has on that
he's
stuff?
probably got a ton.
Yeah, unlimited. I mean, I trust him more than I trust most doctors.
Yeah. He's like, dude, I was literally my own guinea pig, man.
Yeah,
Like, do you think this doctor who's obese is gonna know like real world experience, not just like, well, I read this in a book.
yeah. Don't even get me on doctors and obesity. Or the BMI chart.
Dude.
Like,
Oh my
can,
gosh, it drives me
can we look at
nuts.
anything on like how much muscle anybody has without just going to a BMI chart and being like, oh yeah, you're about to die. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I that chart is just so negative for so many people, and
Yeah.
it couldn't really tell you less if it tried.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. It's so hard to take like information from someone who doesn't take their own advice.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, it's like don't trust a skinny cook. It's like why
dude, that
you're
was
obviously
my
not doing it. Why would I listen to you, right? Like,
yeah. That was my Afghanistan cook, man. She's a big old gal, but man, she could cook. She
yeah.
took
I mean,
care
you
of
go.
us.
If if you look at the old school riding days, Stewart had like terrible form, right? He's always toes out, barely on the bike, right?
Yeah.
But are you going to tell me if James Stewart came over to your house and started giving you riding tips that you wouldn't be fully listening? I
Uh,
mean,
dude,
maybe
he's
he's
got the
not maybe
track
he's not
record.
maybe he's not the new style, but I mean, and maybe he hit the ground a lot, but I mean, you can't say the guy didn't do some amazing things on a dirt bike.
Dude, he did, man. He the
Like
scrub, like
I
the
missed
scrub is just insane.
the
Like,
scrub from the scrub ruined ever being not in absolutely amazing shape to ride a supercross track. That's what the scrub did. So before you used to hit a jump and you actually had like a second that you could catch your breath. And now you're
yeah,
supposed to pancake your bike on the takeoff. And now the whole time in the air where you used to be able to drink, you got to pull your bike back from the suck that it is.
yeah,
Right. But this is the scrub took any time you had to catch your breath and just no more.
just demolished it. Well, like
Yeah.
I think it was born from like BMX racing because like I did as a kid, and you'd see pros essentially scrubbing, and they're staying as low as they can instead of airing it out, especially over like triples. Like they'll
Yeah.
somehow keep it low, and then James just figured out how to do it on a freaking dirt bike.
Yeah, just 260-pound dirt bike. You got to pull back, you know?
Yeah, but honestly, dude, it's so sick when you see it get scrubbed though.
Yeah.
Do you ever see that video of like this kid's on like a pit bike and scrubs this like tiny little like roller, but his shoulder is like an inch off the ground. And he pulls it back in. I was like, that's so sick.
I mean, nowadays, some of these kids at Loretta's are doing some things that like I've only been doing for a couple of years, and they're on a 65. And I'm like, that's just ridiculous. Okay, you should not be pulling a 90-degree whip back in third grade. Okay, like
Right? You're like, that is insulting me as a grown ass man.
Yeah, learn how to spell your last name before you hurt me on a riding style.
You're like, dude, I'll break check you, kid. Like, you ever heard of Justin Barsha?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that dude. But
yeah, he's going to Ducati.
Dude, I saw that.
Those Ducatis look beautiful. I think
They do.
One.
Yeah.
It's not really in the budget. I'm doing it the same as all of them. Yeah. I don't know. I'm really trying to make do the dirt slut thing with my spare time. So I got to watch how many different ways I decide to waste money. But
what'd you think of the Triumphs?
I'm just not into it.
Just another
it's a supercross bike, which
yeah.
I mean, I'm not hating on what they're doing. It's just that's just not what I do. The Ducati, I feel like the head makes more sense for desert racing than it does where they're using it.
Mm-hmm. Why is that? What's special about their head?
The Desmotronic, so it pushes the valve back down and up, right? Mm-hmm. So like all Japanese bikes and KTM's and all them, they're all springs. You have the spring in there. Cam goes down. Cam pushes it down, right?
Yep.
The Desmotronic. I hope I'm not butchering it for them, but the cam both pushes it up and pushes it down, right? So it goes both ways. So you don't have a valve spring in there. So no valve spring, no floating valves.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the name of these long desert races, right? We're detuning our bikes because of that. So I don't know, if you take floating valves off, then maybe we can use that last 5% of our bikes.
What bike are you running? Are you running a 450X?
I have one. It's all torn apart in my garage.
How long has it been torn apart for?
A couple months. Every race I have done in the last year, I mean, some people are going to laugh at it, but it's been a 450L.
450L.
The street legal, full street legal bike.
Yeah.
You could.
That's what I have.
In some of my pictures, you'll see the plate hanging off the back.
All right. So why do you pick that bike over the X?
I just had it because I wanted it. I wanted it street legal.
Yeah.
The X is definitely lighter, a little better. I bought one because I wanted a street legal dirt bike. There's just always been a dream of mine, right?
Yeah.
And then I bought the X. I raced Vegas Reno on it last year, and then I just kind of sat there. And then I went to do Silver State on it this year, and I was like, I'll put a new piston in before the race. And I pulled the piston, and so where in the cylinder the piston goes down, mm-hmm. and there's a certain spot where it'll never go below a certain part.
Yeah.
All the nickel seal below that on the head is gone. So I saw that, and I was like, I'm clearly not racing. And props to Honda, by the way, because this bike still I'm missing at least an inch of nickel seal out of the cylinder, and this bike still started up instantly. None of the major red flags you would have thought of somebody who like had that much cylinder damage. So I saw that and I was
those
like,
rings just mated. It's mated to the
I,
cylinder.
I did. It's props because not only was it running well. So
Yeah, this shit
and
makes sense.
I mean it's a solid inch. You would think you'd have all like the low compression signs,
You got a picture of it?
And it didn't. Yeah.
So you should send it to me. Let's see that.
And yeah, so last second I was like, oh well, now I have to run the L. And
Yeah,
then I did so well on it. And I was like, well, I don't know. There's no reason to really switch until they until they give me a reason to. But I'll still send it to you. But
what?
yeah, I mean, very significant part of my cylinder just like not there anymore.
Gone.
Yeah, just gone.
That's
Like,
awesome.
okay.
That's actually really nuts. I don't even know how you do that. Did you
I
know
mean,
that the
that's some of these durabilities of these desert bikes. Though, like I
yeah.
love I have a Cowie that I kind of like converted the best I could into a desert bike.
Mhm.
But I love that bike's power. I love how it handles. It's very sensitive. I
Yeah,
mean, I pushed the starter twice one time, popped a relay, and then it's like, then you can't start the bike for 5 minutes, and the race started. And I
just
just
camera
sat there.
problems.
Yeah, I was just there at District 38 race, and I'm like, relay popped, can't do anything,
Can't
right?
do
Like,
nothing, man.
right? Like, I got to sit here and wait 10 minutes. Um,
Dude,
and so the race just started without me.
that
Um,
sucks.
yeah. So where these Hondas, well, not the motocross Hondas. I'm sure the difference is the desert series of Hondas, right?
Yeah,
I mean, they weigh like 30, 40 pounds more, lower compression, like everything that doesn't make it sound like it's a race bike. But you are really hard off breaking that bike before you break yourself, you know?
yeah. That's kind of why I love my bike, man. And also, I like how, and I could tell a difference because I had a 2018 YZ450, and I came off that onto the L, and the L's got a longer rake. It's got a
Yeah.
longer rake than the X does. And so, like, dude, that stability was so nice because on the YZ, dude, I'm getting head shake. And when I went and rode dunes, it was even worse. I'm just riding the lightning at this point, man.
So I have on my X, I have the X Trigs. So, but
Mm-hmm.
I have the same rake as stock, but I
Mm-hmm.
have it's further forward.
Right. Okay.
That adds a lot of stability.
Okay.
I would absolutely hate it on if you put me on a motocross track. Like
Oh yeah.
you can definitely tell the difference, but it wants to pull straight.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you're gonna go skimming some whoops for a couple miles, I mean, I would say it's an unfair advantage to
It's
to
that
have.
much of a difference.
And it's a huge difference on straight line stability. It's huge advantage. If you even a GP course, I would say you're shooting yourself in the leg if you have it on there. It's not like this
Uh-huh.
thing you put on and it's way better. Like it
Yeah.
has a purpose. So
Go straight.
if what you're doing is matching that purpose, it's a huge advantage.
Do you run a stabilizer?
Yeah,
I
but
have one on my
I,
bike. I've never done it before.
I run a stabilizer. I run it really low compared to, I mean, just about every other desert racer I see. And I think that's mostly because I come from like the motocross background, so I'm used to not having one.
Yeah,
So I've
yeah.
hopped on other people's bike, and I'm like, how do you turn?
They're like, I
uh,
don't.
yeah, yeah. They're like, oh, you lean. I'm like, yeah. Um, and I'm not saying I'm doing it right and they're doing it wrong. I'm just saying I think it's coming from the background of no stabilizer. A little bit a stabilizer turned pretty far down is like that's what works best for me. If you turn it up, I get like nervous that it's just not
You
like I
can't
can't
move.
turn. Yeah,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
I like it to go. You know.
Yeah. I was messing with mine a little bit. And I cranked it all the way up. I was like, dude, how do people move with this? And so
Yeah.
I got mine turned down probably about, I don't know, halfway.
I,
Because
I, I love Scots. They're amazing brand for a long time. At the JPRs in the past, and those I think if you're doing freestyle, you definitely would want the JPR. Those things, if you turn those up, the last like half of that dial they have.
Yeah.
I mean, you literally can't. Like you might as well just take your steering stem and just just take the
weld it.
stabilizer off and weld it in there. Like
Hell
that.
yeah.
They get crazy stiff, but for freestyle it makes sense. But
Yeah.
I
No hander lander.
I go flying off my bike enough. Okay, I don't need to do it intentionally.
Right. Do you run the Alpine Star airbag, like the car thing? No.
No,
Too
I'm
high.
not against it.
They're
It's
expensive.
expensive, and I don't have it.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, they're like I think like over $1,000. And
if, if somebody wants to, sponsor it on me, I'm all ears. It's just
oh yeah, absolutely.
uh, I think my biggest concern with those for desert racing is you pop it. I got a long time before I'm done with that race. Like,
Yeah.
maybe I could be totally misplaced here. I don't know how well it sits on you after it's popped. But like that last year, for example, Vegas Reno, I went down at like race mile 160, and last year it was a 555-mile race. So like, what would I have done for the other? I mean, essentially 400 miles after I crashed. Like, would I still be good, or what's the issue? I think if I was racing on a team, then I think I would like the idea a lot more, right? Because I would have a spot to change it.
Yeah.
But racing Ironman, I don't know. I feel like I know it like deflates after, but then like it so how is it going to fit on you if it just deflated though? Right.
You're right.
Because I like my chest protectors like tight.
Yeah, that's how I run too.
And I run my chest protector under my jersey most of the time. So
yeah,
because I do
mine on top.
I run it on top if I'm like just practicing. I run it under whenever I have a camelback.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I don't like the camelback and the chest protector. I don't know. It will always find a way to get caught. And then I mean I got less than favorable collarbones going on here. So like always end up in the crack where like my collarbones like pointy, and it just gets irritating.
Yeah.
Where if I do the one underneath and one on top, then they're separate.
Yeah, I don't blame you for doing that, because like I don't know, dude, I've had things just shift around and then it's like going up your armpit and you're like, dude, I still got like another however long with this right here. This is uncomfortable as hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, those
That's why
airbag things are cool.
I only fill my water packs up like 2/3 of the way.
Yeah.
If you fill them too much, they get too like cylinder, and so it really stands off, and you barely drink any water, and it will make a big size difference, and then it's loose. And like I said, this is just a personal thing, but I cannot stand anything loose on me. Right? Like I move, I need it to move. I wear boots a size too small for me, and like smash my feet in there. Like I like to like. If I flinch my toe, that boot moves with the toe, right? Like I don't like any gap in there.
Yeah, I can't do that. I need my feet normal. Like if my feet are uncomfortable, I'm angry.
No, mine are actively uncomfortable. Like I'm losing blood circulation to my toes. I wear boots that are like full size, too small for me, and then I just wear like they're not even soft. I mean, most people do like riding socks or like thick riding socks.
Yeah,
I have socks that are like a liner.
You're just a glutton for pain.
So I'm just like, well, I feel uncomfortable when I have the thick ones in there, right? I feel like you move a little bit and it doesn't move, right? Like you have the cushion of the sock and everything else.
Yeah,
I like it like tied down tight. I barely flinch it. It goes with me.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back. Like my Alpines, because I got the Tech 7s, and those are pretty comfortable, but I think they like I haven't paid that much attention to it. I just know they're.
If you go downsides, it won't be comfortable.
No, I'm good, dude. No, my shift lever though, is in an annoying spot. I need to move it up a spline, and the case saver that's on there is like, bro, it's like thick, and I
Yeah.
can't do it. I'm gonna have to like grind it out or something with a Dremel.
I I I'm super sensitive to all that stuff. I don't know what you can put me on any bike, and your suspension can be completely not for me, and I can go 95% as fast as I would on anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But hand controls and foot controls, if you move the spline up on my shifter just one, I'm gonna miss shift so many times. Like
Oh yeah.
I guess I just barely get it in gear, but when it's where I have it, it just always makes it. If it's
Mm-hmm.
up one, I'm like lost. Or like I've had some people run their rear brakes a little higher,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not used to it being that high. So then it's like every corner
Ooh.
I'm coming in, we're going full skid.
Yeah. Just full lock.
And then you're not you're messing up the tire, and then you're also not really slowing down, right? I'm just like
Yeah.
just coming in power drift, right? Like it's like I said, I've ridden all motorcycles. I am very good at bouncing between bikes, but hand controls and foot control, if you move them a little bit on me, I'm like you just wreck my whole. I'm all of a sudden the biggest goon ever.
Yeah. Dude, foot controls for me, especially because I like to find neutral when I'm not trying to find neutral. Or with this bike, I've been finding a lot of false neutrals lately because I barely get my foot like under there because it's got a pretty steep angle. And dude, I'm popping that thing in false neutral all the time. It's pissing me off.
You gotta move that spline.
I just gotta grind that damn thing. I just gotta get it. Yeah, I
I
still gotta
don't,
change
I
the
don't
oil on that thing,
I
dude.
don't know what you're talking about grinding something. I'm concerned that you're bringing a grinder to your bike, but I hope you know what you're looking
Yeah,
at.
no, I'll send you a picture of it. Dude, it's so thick. Because I was like, well, I could just get like this Zeta one that's like $40, huh?
just take just take it off, move the sprocket, and then put it back on.
It's but like where it's gonna naturally sit though, it's just gonna be right up against it. Like that's how much or how far off it comes off the freaking case.
Mm.
It's a XR's only, dude. It's so big.
Well, get it in the vise, get that thing trimmed down.
Yeah, dude. Let's just take a little off the top, man. Just a little
Yeah.
bit.
Well, then just one more, so you have just not
Yeah,
just not touching, but give you a little gap.
yeah. It's a little bit, man. I just need
Yeah,
like a millimeter gap there. I'll be good, hopefully, until I actually shift that. Well, sick, dude.
but
You got anything you want to plug?
Vegas, Reno in 2 weeks.
Hell yeah.
If I win that one, I won't have the championship because there's still Laughlin after it, but
Mm-hmm.
I'll be ahead enough in points that basically all I got to do is show up and do 4 out of the 10 laps and win the championship. Um, and then so that'd be 2 years in a row, get the championship, and then I'm thinking I might join the cage groups. It's
The
like
cage groups,
yeah, yeah, okay.
like fighting.
No,
Oh,
UGP. It's
okay.
like
Oh,
cage, like
you.
a roll cage.
Yeah, I'm like, got 5 months.
uh, which I don't know. I love dirt bikes, but I like being competitive more than that.
Yeah,
And I don't know that Matthew McConaughey would be proud that I keep getting older, but everybody I'm racing with keeps staying the same age.
yeah.
So,
So,
I feel when I was 17, I was racing a bunch of 22-year-olds, and now
yeah.
I'm 35 and I'm still racing 22-year-olds. So
Dude, those got a hefty price tag though. That's the thing about dirt bikes is like they're relatively cheap to race,
yeah,
but you still
I
need the
mean
4 wheels.
the biggest thing is just the maintenance, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I bought one for I used one that's already been in some races for 21.
Mhm.
Um, and I mean, so not super cheap, but not crazy more than a dirt bike. Especially the desert dirt bikes, all the stuff you have to do to them to get them race ready.
Yeah.
Um, but the maintenance is definitely that's a different conversation, right?
So you rip a control arm or a trailing arm
Yeah,
off.
you go stuff one tire, you might be 4K in. That's
Yeah.
that's not happening on a dirt bike.
No.
Uh, And also
That's
like
more
just
of what I'm talking about, I guess.
the durability of the dirt bike is honestly, I don't think it's the dirt bike. It's the you're not strapped in on the dirt bike, right? So it's how hard can my bike hit something is normally a reference to how much can I hold on to my bike while I hit that something, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual reference to the bike. Just am I going to fall off the bike if I hit it?
Right.
Or if you're in the cage, obviously that's not a thing anymore. So now it really is how far like can you push this metal? So then now you're breaking off things that like on a dirt bike you don't. I've yet to meet anybody break a swing arm, and I've seen some pretty gnarly crashes, right?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever even heard of anyone breaking a swing arm.
Yeah, and where like the equivalent on a truck, that's just a Wednesday.
Yeah, right.
But
Like,
I bought a really expensive simulator um, in my shop. So
yeah.
my girlfriend was less than pleased about the price, but thankfully that money was in my bank account, not hers.
Hey, you're not getting hurt in that thing though. You're safe as can
Well,
be.
I said because it was the same price as like an actual race car. So she was like, "Why don't you get another race car?" I was like, "Well, because if I crash this thing, all I do is restart the game."
Yeah. Like I'm out
So
zero money.
I was like, "This is actually it doesn't look cheaper because it's a lot of money up front." But I'm like, I don't have anything to fix. When I blow the
Yeah.
corner and hit a tree, I press restart.
Yeah.
And
And you're good to
I
go.
mean nowadays these simulators are wild. I mean,
Yeah, I've seen videos of them. They're nuts. Is
and
it
I
like
and I
shift and stuff?
yeah,
That's sick.
there's like two little subs underneath your butt, so like if you're on like the main line and say you come in a little too fast and you're like
Yeah.
kind of more towards the marble, like it vibrates like you're off the main line, so like
Oh
it's
damn.
vibrating your seat more. Like it's like there's a lot of detail into it.
That's rad. That's so cool.
I mean,
I want to hop on one of those.
I'll see something and be like, wow, this is gonna hurt, and then I'm like, I'm on a video game, it's not gonna hurt,
Yeah,
but
you're like, oh wait, never mind. I'm
yeah.
good.
Um, if you're ever in Vegas, it's sitting in there in my shop all alone.
Ooh, don't give me a reason to come to Vegas. You'll spend a bunch of
Yeah.
money. Hell yeah, dude. Well, I appreciate you hopping on here, man.
Just thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're gonna hopefully my goal with this whole thing is to like just build it up and then eventually turn it into 501c3 and just get some dudes out here riding, hopefully introduce them to something that they've never done before.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if there's anybody who wants to ride in Vegas, I'm here. There's riding areas all around us. That's the main reason I'm in Vegas is just the OHV that's available out here.
yeah.
Um, I mean, I'll hop on other ones if you have some in the future.
Okay, sick. I appreciate that, man.
So, all right,
All
good
righty.
talking.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with me.
All right,
See you later, man.
Thank you for watching, and I do hope you consider liking, subscribing, doing all that fun stuff so we can grow this channel and turn it into the thing that I know it can be.